Okay, so we are doing chapter 3 in Taittiriya Upanishad, Bhruguvalli, section 2, verse 1. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Vasudeva, sorry. Om Shanno Mitra Shamvaruna Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnu Rukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tumeva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanma Bhavatu Tat Vaktaram Avatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay. So since we met after 2 weeks, just to remind that in this section the student has heard everything, but he doesn't have the experience. What we were talking about over there, right? Intellectually, and he is just waiting to feel that experience, but his father has had the experience, so he approaches his father. So this Bhrigu approaches Varuna, with a lot of reverence, and he said, teach me Brahman. Basically saying, I want to have the experience. Now you know. And then what Varuna says at that point in verse 1, food, prana, eyes, ears, mind, and speech are Brahman, because he wants him to go and think. He's not giving him, oh, Brahman is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. वो तो पहले सुन लिया था उसने, पर उसको experience नहीं हुआ. So he has to take that data and this data and now start thinking. Okay? So we saw in the next verse that we did was to him, this fellow goes and he comes back. No, he says this, sorry, he has not gone yet. So he's saying that you find out this particular thing. Crave to know. Means जब तक तुमको ये आंसर नहीं मिले सोचते जाओ. Contemplation के पर कर रहा है कि that from which these beings are born, that by which having been born these beings live and continue exist, means they come from Brahman, they sustain in Brahman, and into which when departing they all enter. Usko Brahman bola usne. So he gave him, now he has 3 pieces of data. One is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma that he heard before. Then he heard that, all these different things like Annam, Pranam, Chakshu, Shotram and all that, Mana, all these. And then third pieces of information, he has to take everything and try to put it together like a formula and then think. So, जिसमें से सब कुछ आता है, sustain होता है और वापस समा जाता है, that is Brahman. So then Bhrigu goes and perform. Penance means what? Contemplation, thinking and all that. And after doing that, he comes back. He comes back with some conclusion. He's not satisfied with it. Because abhi wo pahuncha nahi hai wahan pe. That's where we are. Okay? So this verse is when he comes back. So here is section 2. Annam brahmeti vyajanat. Annat hi eva khalu imani bhutani jayante. I'm breaking the sandhi and saying annena jatani jivanti. One second, I want to make sure that, okay. Annam prayanti abhisavishanti iti tad vignaya puna eva varunam pitram upsasara adihi bhagavo brahmeti tam ha ovacha tapasa brahma vijigyasasva tapa brahma iti sa tapa atapyat sorry sa tapa taptva. Lot of words, but you should not get scared of them, because a lot of things you will see in Hindi translation we'll understand. Annam, we all know Anna, food. Brahma iti, Anna as Brahman. Vyajanat, he understood Anna as Brahman. Annat, indeed from food. He is indeed. Eva, alone. Khalu, certainly. Imani, all these. Bhutani, beings. And bhut means bhut pret nahi. All our living beings are called bhutani. Panch Mahabhut se bane. Jayante are born. Annen, by food. They are born by food. Jatani, having been born. Jivanti, they live. Annam, into food. So they live on food also. Prayanti, on departing. Abhisavishanti, enter. Iti, thus. Tat, that. Vijnaya, having understood. Means they enter back into the food. जैसे हम fertilizer बन जाते हैं दूसरों के लिए. और animal kingdom में तो वो we don't want to think about it. एक दूसरे को खाते भी है, right? अरे animal kingdom को छोड़ो, human beings भी they eat. People don't eat non-veg, they eat other beings. So food for each other. Puna eva, again. Varunam, unto Varuna. Pitaram, his father. Upasasara, approach. So Varuna approached his father again. Adihi, teach me. He's repeating the same thing. No, I didn't get it, Dad. Teach me more. Again, I didn't get it. So Adihi, teach me. Bhagava, oh revered sir. He didn't say dad actually. He called him Bhagwan because he's like self-realized as dad. Brahma iti. What is Brahman? Tama, to him. So this person, to him is to Varuna. Ha, then, Ovacha, he said, Tapasa, by penance, Brahman. Vijignasasva, seek, means seek. Brahman by penance means thinking and contemplating. Seek or to know is Vijignasasva. जिसमें जिज्ञासा उत्पन्न हो जाए करने के लिए. Tapah, we know penance, but here we know the meaning. We were told that it is more contemplating and thinking about it. Brahma is again Brahman. Iti, thus. Saha is he. Tapa is again penance. Atapyat, he performed. Saha, he. Tapa, penance. Taptva, being, having performed. So they are saying he performed, and then having performed, then he comes back. It's for the next verse. थोड़ा suspense रखा हुआ है इसमें. Anyway, so I know with all this Sanskrit you get like your mind start. You're not used to all this Sanskrit, but let's try to simplify it now. So we saw that Bhrigu approached Varuna, and Varuna ने उसको सब data वगैरह दे के वापस भेजा, बोला जाके सोच. उसको आंसर नहीं दिया. It's like teacher puts a big formula and say, now you go find the answer. He doesn't give the final answer because that's not going to do anything for the student. He won't be able to solve any other future problem. So after contemplating, he came back. He came back with some understanding. But he had a doubt about his own understanding. He took that data and he came to some conclusion. So he said that Annam Brahmeti Vyajanat. He understood here Anna or food as Brahma because he told him that, right? Because this is what it is. The three things that he told him, jisme se Brahman is one from which everything comes, sustains and goes back. So he took that piece of data about food and he said, oh yeah, the people, all the living beings on this earth, no matter who you are, you may be a saint or a sinner, everybody is born from food. Everybody's body is born from food. So that's what he's coming to the conclusion right now. And so because all the lakshanas are the same, what he said, about. So he said, Swamiji was just explaining that all of us, all beings are born from food, and whatever the parents eat and what the mother eats, the body is made of the baby, and then this person becomes a jiva, and then when we are born, we have to eat food to survive. Without that, we cannot. Eating food and completely merge back into food. We saw that, but he was just opening up a little bit. Why Anna he thought is food? Because we know that everything comes from that, and he was just saying that you try to think that not only just human body, all the jivas, and human also, no matter who you are, you analyze and you will come to that conclusion. It's a scientific fact, and he said that's why we say that. He was just explaining one important point which I didn't think about. He's saying our shastras, they don't talk about vegetarian or non-vegetarian and all that, because in the animal kingdom they are eating directly. And even there are humans who eat other living beings, whatever. He's saying, but they talk about sattvic, rajasic, tamasic food. So that's how they approach it. Hey, you want to be sattvic, then eat sattvic food, then the vegetarian food comes and all that. So we won't get into all that. But just the fact that, this real fact that Annam, on one hand, is not really Brahman, but we saw the whole sequence. It's coming from there only, number one. And it does have the characteristic of that Brahman, of being born from it, the body part of it. Born from it, sustained and going. So that's how we have to see. And then, we already have gone through this, that whether you cremate somebody or you bury somebody, either we become fertilizer for the other food, other jantus eat you. So we all know. I don't need to go into gross everybody out about that. We already know about those facts. So that's how it is. So now I know that Joe the other day talked about this another Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, and the exactly similar story is there, and Nikhilananji elaborated, and I thought there are some interesting points in there. And then in that Upanishad, what they show is that Indra and Virochan, there are two people. Indra is, Devtaon ka Raja. So he has a little more sattvic mind and all that. And the other guy is Virochan, who has more like a Asuri mind. Okay? So they both approach Brahmaji and say, teach me Brahman. Same thing, like what the Bhrigu is saying. So Brahmaji ne dusra trick istemal kiya. He told them, go look at your reflection in the water, and that's Brahman. Yeah? So वो गए और reflection को देखा अपना. तो जो विरोचन का mind was only in the body, right? So not more contemplative and all that. So he looked at the reflection and he said, अरे वाह, Brahma ji ne bola ki this is Brahman. That means my body is Brahman. That's it. I don't need to do anything. So he did not think nothing. उसने conclusion बना लिया वहाँ पे. My body is Brahman. So he got totally convinced. And then he went and told all his other Asura friends, I went to Brahmaji and I learned that my body is Brahman. So khao, piyo, maja karo. Worship the body. Take care. Everything that you want, you can get it from the body. There's nothing else. So he's saying that Nikhilananji is very funny. He's saying there are people like that even now. Virochan ko samajhne wale. There's nothing more in the world. You just. Lekin Indra jo hai na, when he heard this, he said, okay, body is Brahman, but it cannot be completely, because I have heard that Brahman is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. It is like that, it never changes. Infinite. So how can body is not infinite. Body is born and it dies and all that. So there has to be something more to it. So it seems that in that story also, he does the same thing what Bhrigu is doing over here. He keeps going back. He's saying, okay, I understood that body is Brahman, but no, there has to be more. Tell me more. Things like that. So it's the same concept, like in the different Upanishads, that you will understand more by contemplating, and it's not going to just come like that. So now the question is that what doubt he must have gotten. He came to this conclusion, Bhrigu, that body is Brahman, but then he had a doubt. And the doubt is exactly the same, that he realized that Annam was, he called it more technical word, Karyam, means it's an effect. Effect of something, not the final cause. Why? Because there is something that controls Anna also. That's why. Because he had also heard that Brahman is causeless cause. Remember, you have to take several pieces of data and then you have to analyze it. You cannot forget what you are told before. That's why he had that doubt. So that's a very important point. That you have to take that, this doesn't fit here, so it cannot be. Even though it seems like it cannot be. That's what the conclusion is. And then, so it is not the ultimate cause, the Annam. And then he was just saying, sometime when we study Vedanta, I learned some new English words. And I don't know if you had heard of this word. one is ultimate cause and one is penultimate cause. सुना है कभी penultimate? So next time ना जाना, or you put the word penultimate is penultimate, ultimate and penultimate. So penultimate is not ultimate. जो ultimate है उसके पहले वाला को penultimate बोलते हैं. Last but not the last. Okay, so it's very, very interesting. So can you just hold on 1 second? My son is calling me twice, so I think, and he knows I have a class, so let me see what he has to say. 1 second, huh? Okay, it's all right. So he realized that this was penultimate cause and not the ultimate. So that's why, and then there is a logic, because he had studied the whole Shastra, so he knew that the matter or annam comes from matter. And then we saw the sequence, the matter comes from water. And water is the cause for this. And what is the cause of water? It is the fire. Fire is the cause of, where does the fire come from? Vayu. Vayu comes from space. Space comes from that Brahman. So that sequence is there. So that's why this cannot be, right? Moment he put all the facts together, he realized that his conclusion was not correct. The same thing happened both places. This Indra as well as Bhrigu, the same thing happened. So you try to find out that cause, and he was just telling, Nikhil Anandji is very analytical when it comes to all the modern science and all that. He's saying that in modern science, they will say, okay, Big Bang happened, and there was a singularity was there, and then the universe came about, and the cause of the universe is Big Bang. But you ask the science today, who caused the Big Bang? They don't know. Penultimate cause ho gaya, okay. So, but apne shastron mein, they have a perfect answer, that, hey, there was a little, like we saw in this, our Upanishad, kampan hua usme, So, and then with that, okay, I think Kamla ji's, okay. So, this is what it is, that we have to go to that ultimate cause of it. Okay, and then some other points. So he was just saying that the science don't have answer to all these things. So what happened to Bhrigu, because he realized that his conclusions were not very scientifically backed, and there was some other data and all that, so he says that, okay, it cannot be Brahman because it's an effect. And then to get that confirmation and guidance, he approached the teacher again, he said, okay. So and those words are Tat Vijnaya Punareva. He came back and approached him again, and then it doesn't say in this verse, but Nikhilanandji brought a very important point. He said he had a dialogue with his teacher. Okay, he's saying dialogue is very important. He's saying only listening to pravachan is not going to happen because you have a passive listening. You have to have a dialogue. And he said the dialogue is very important in our Shastras, and that's why Bhagavad Gita is a dialogue between Krishna Bhagwan and Arjuna. And he's saying even in the Bhagavatam, it's a dialogue between Parikshit and Shukdev ji. So he's saying that dialogue is very important. So he again approached his teachers to have that dialogue. And then what did the teacher tell him? Firstly, he said, same thing he repeated. Oh, Bhagwan, please teach me Brahman. And the father this time said that he had already said that, everybody comes from Brahman and all that. He didn't want to repeat all that. So now he says, very interesting, he says, Tapasa Brahma Adi Bhagavatam Hoacha. That, let me see what exact word is it. Approach of our father said, Revere sir, please tell me, through tapas you seek Brahman. So now he gave him a direct indication. That means तुमने तपस किया है पर enough नहीं है. जाओ. And then he says, tapas is Brahman. So 2 words he told them. Through tapas, you can get Brahman, and tapas is Brahman. And then Swamiji is going to analyze why he said it. He's sending him in the right direction. When you go in the right direction, you get the final result. So he's pushing him to continue his contemplation with the right data, not some wrong one. So that's what it is. This is how it is. And then he was just saying that about the dialogue, that in that dialogue he will clear the doubt and all. It's not said over here, or we have to just imagine that he may have discussed, hey, I think that the food is Brahman, but this is my problem, this, that, and all that. And then he was just saying that he uses the word tapasa brahma vijigyasasva, means you understand this Brahman through tapas, through focus, through contemplation, because he's saying that, like we were talking about, our buddhi is a very fantastic tool. It has power to comprehend. And if we keep at it, and this buddhi has been given only to humans. Animals don't sit and ask, who am I, where am I going, and all. This faculty has been given to us, very powerful one. And then, even though Brahman is beyond comprehension, exactly what Swamiji had said in that commentary, but it will take us there. This is the only tool we got, and we continue with it in the words of Shastras, that you continue this contemplation, mananam nididhyasan will happen. Whatever data you got, you so convinced and you sit with it, then the final thing happens. So that's why he said that through tapas you know Brahman, and think again and find out, and Brahman, tapas is Brahman. That's how we ended it. That's what this verse is saying. Any question, any comment? Anybody? Is it too complicated? Maybe when we read Swamiji's commentary, it will open up a little bit,
We have to contemplate on it.
Yes. I think the main message, the way I'm looking at it, is that they are both, now you saw how the synergy is happening in Bhagavad Gita and over here. Both of them are saying, there he talked about the satsang, contemplating, thinking, that you, even though you may think you know everything, don't stop there. Sit with it continuously, and then it will happen. Because sometimes if we have, oh yeah, maine to Gita pad liya, I know what is in Gita, and just sit there, it's not going to happen then. You got to sit with it and think more.
Pardna is not enough. So main thing वही जो बोल रहा है कि contemplating. हम आंख बंद करके, चाहे कई लोग ये वो करते हैं कि भाई ध्यान नहीं लग रहा, ध्यान लगे या ना लगे, फिर भी बैठो तो that contemplation happens. तुम बार बार सोचते हो कि what's happening there.
See, when he talks about, when it comes to dhyan, I think the best chapter is chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita, because he told the whole thing. Agar man nahi lagta hai, to we have to start somewhere else, that, hey, maybe say some mantra, try to understand the meaning of it, because if you just sit and tumhara man nahi lag raha hai, to bhatkega man. So
even if you sit in silence and think about this whole universe, what's happening, that's contemplation, no?
Yeah, you can say that, but then, you need some guidance in contemplation too, because Bhagavan says that you absorb yourself in that self. So first we have to understand what the indicative definition of the self. Who is that self? So all that can go into contemplation. And once you have become totally convinced everything is Brahman and you have no doubt, then it's a knowing. They call it knowing. You don't have to think about it. You already know it. And then you sit in that knowing. And when your other thought stops, there's a whole process. But all he's trying to do over here right now for Bhrigu is that this experience you're not going to get by just discussing with me. You take the data that I have told you and then go and do the contemplation and meditation yourself. Because bolte na, meditation mein you are alone.
Yeah.
You cannot do, they call it group meditation and things like that. That's a different purpose. But otherwise, to go deep within yourself, you have to do it alone. Yeah. Any volunteers to read? Go ahead.
So Bhrigu thinks that An is Brahman, but that's not enough. Is that
Exactly, because उन्होंने शुरू में बोला था ना, और ये अन्न भी उसको ब्रह्म ही बोला है. तभी तो हम लोग जब भी खाने के पहले we kind of pray, because
right?
And then when we come to chapter 15, भगवान स्वामी जी ने कुछ explanation दिया है उसका, कि when we go in the kitchen and when we are cooking, he's talking about the yagnas, that how the homa happen. Everything is Brahman only. So when the knife is Brahman, the food is Brahman, and when you cook, the vessel, it's coming from Brahman. When you eat, Jatra Agni, that Agni is Brahman. Once you kind of understand that it's a different roop of Bhagwan only, then the final thing will happen. So the same way over here, he started with Annam, and he realized that yes, Annam does have a characteristic of Brahman, but it's not the final thing. Anna is more effect. I have to go back to the cause. And the final cause will be Brahman, causeless cause. That's how we can look at it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, who wants to read? Would you like to, Urmilji? You have the right book?
Yeah, I have the book. Yeah, sure. Thank you. Bhrigu learned that food is Brahman.
Which page are we on?
268
Thank you.
in my book. Right. Bhrigu learned that food is Brahman because it is from food that all these beings are born. By food, when born, do they live, and having departed, into food they enter. Having known that, he approached his father Varuna and said, "Revered sir, teach me Brahman." Varun told him, "By deep thinking, tapas, seek thou to know Brahman." Tapas is Brahman. He performed tapas, and having performed tapas, as a result of his initial thoughts, he came to the conclusion that food is the material cause of the world of names and forms. To Bhrigu, food was Brahman because food has the distinctive marks of Brahman. All living creatures are born of food. They continue to exist in food, and when they disintegrate at their death, whether they be the most revered and the sacred of the prophets of the age or the most insignificant of the worms, they have all to go to the world of matter made up of calcium, carbon, phosphorus, and so on. The physical body, made up of the 5 great elements, have all to go back to the 5 elements when life and its warmth depart from the structure.
So, that we have discussed this many times. This is also an important fact to know, that body is made up of food, sustains in food, and goes back into food. Even I think that as Bhrigu is learning his stuff, हम लोग को भी थोड़ा scientific fact में churn करने का idea मिलता है, that how important food is also for us. It is. Okay. So at least we know that. So he came to this conclusion. Then what happens? Let's go to the next one.
Though superficially there is for food the look of reality, as the cause for the world of matter to exist, matter has a positive beginning and an end. It is ever changing. A changing factor cannot be the ultimate reality. The supreme, pointed out by the term Brahman, is the changeless substratum upon which all changes are made possible. But the world of food is ever changing, and the only permanence about it is the truth that it will change on. Therefore, Bhrigu was not satisfied, and so he again approached his father Varuna.
So everybody understood?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
That when he put the other data together with this, he realized that his conclusion was not right one. because he said that Brahman is that changeless substratum from which everything comes and merges back. Food to continuously changes. So food is Brahman, but is not the ultimate. That's why he approached his father again.
On being thus approached, and when the student repeated the same request as before, teach me Brahman, the teacher understood exactly what the trouble was. Instead of directly guiding him, which would have been an intellectual interference, he was encouraged to do more intense and poignant thinking. The teacher refused to bomb the disciple with any truth experienced in his own personal realization. The teacher wanted the student to discover for himself the real and the eternal.
So see what he's saying, that the teacher knew the problem, that he has to go and think more. If I just give him the answer, it's like just math problem, you give the final answer, oh, I got it. He didn't get anything because he didn't understand the whole process. So he's saying, he has to do more thinking. And he's saying the teacher refused to bomb the disciple with the truth. He's not giving him on a silver platter and saying, this. No, he wants him to go and do, because that's the only method. That's why.
All that the teacher does is to encourage the student to get up again onto his feet and learn to climb a few steps higher. Thus, teacher only repeats what he had already explained. Know the reality through continued application of right thinking. In order to emphasize the idea that realization, as explained in Vedanta, is the fulfillment of the path of right thinking and deep meditation, the teacher here says, penance is Brahman. The means are generally indicated as the goal itself when the means are directly connected with the goal. This is often employed in our conversation. Ghee is long life, meaning ghee, clarified butter, gives good health and assures a profitable long life. Shall I continue?
I think there was another sentence. Do you have that in your paragraph?
Yeah, the Bangalore?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It starts with the next paragraph? I don't know.
Yeah, my next sentence is the Bangalore road starts verily in Madras, is so called because if consistently pursued, it will directly take us to Bangalore.
So see what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Firstly, he's trying to tell him to, go climb a little few steps higher, means he's telling him to go do mehnat himself. I'm not going to give you on a silver platter because that's the only way he will have an experience. And secondly, know the reality through continued application of right thinking. So usko stress karne ke liye usne bola ki tapas, penance is tapas. Tapas means here in this context, tapas means contemplating, thinking, going deep into it. That itself is Brahman because it will lead you to Brahman. That's why he said that this word, that ghee is long life, because by eating ghee, you will automatically get long life because there are so many gunas in it. And then he said that the Bangalore road, Madras का जो एक road है उसको Bangalore road बोल दिया because वो road पे चलते जाओ Bangalore पहुंच जाओगे तुम. That's why. And then that's why he said that he told him, tapas is Brahman, तुम तप करते जाओ, means सोचते जाओ, contemplate करते जाओ, निधि ध्यासन हो जाएगा, you will reach that. So it's another way of encouraging him. It's like somebody said that Arjuna, why Krishna Bhagwan उसके साथी बने? Because जिंदगी में ना किस direction में जा रहे हो सबसे ज़्यादा important है. तुमको अगर भगवान के पास पहुंचना है और just hypothetical, भगवान एक तरफ है और तुम उल्टी तरफ जा रहे हो, कभी नहीं पहुंचोगे. You have to walk in the right direction. तभी अर्जुन ने अपनी डोर है ना भगवान के हाथ में दे दी. Take me to the right direction, you will take me to the goal. So that's what they are talking about, that this tapas is the right direction for understanding Brahman.
Similarly, concentrated right thinking called tapas itself is called Brahman. We ordinarily say we are baking bread. Bread as such need not be baked. bread is the end product of baking dough. Yet while baking, we say it is bread that we are baking.
So he was not satisfied. So it's like हम लोग हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, मैं चाय बनाने जा रही हूँ, तो किसी ने बोला नहीं तुम पानी उबालने जा रहे हो, चाय तो बाद में बनेगी. पर हम लोग क्यों बोलते हैं? बिकॉज मेरा मन उसमें है और मैं पानी उबालूंगी, पत्ती डालूंगी, अपने आप चाय बनेगी. I'm doing all the right steps. That's what they're trying to tell. That when he told them tapas is Brahman, because he wants him to go and do the tapas. And
Because
through
the end
tapas.
product-
Yeah.
the end product is bread. So
Yes.
we are baking dough, but
Yes, you got it now. Yes. Very clever way to say it. Yes.
the boy, unwetted in his enthusiasm, plunged again into a deeper meditation, and having meditated, he came to realize that the expression of the vitality, prana, in us is the reality. But again, he discovered the hollowness of his own conclusion, and so again approached the Guru.
So what they are doing is, remember they talked about the different sheaths, right? So now he's अन्य शीत को उसने समझ लिया, अब वो प्राण शीत को समझेगा, जो वो नॉन, ये भी अल्टीमेट नहीं है, फिर वो डीपर जाएगा. So through this trick, he's pushing them to experience the Brahman himself. So for us also it is the same encouragement. That do contemplation, do thinking, clear your doubts, do the satsang, keep at it, you will reach Brahman. कौन सी जन्म में मिलेगा, we don't know. But at least we are on the right path. I mean, sometimes I think if we didn't even know this, we wouldn't even know what to think about. Like Swamiji used to say that only sitting quietly would lead to the highest, and all the stones will be himself realized. So he took you have to understand and then, go deeper. Yeah. So any other question, comment?
It's really deep. That's all I can say.
It
The whole
is,
subject is
and I'm very thankful for all of you to kind of stick with it, because sometimes, it's like, oh man, it's too much, I can't handle it. At least we are all sticking at it.
And we are thankful to you for
No, it's a group energy, that keeps us going. So yeah, and sometimes even if the whole thing doesn't sink in, even if a little bit is good, and as we go further, it clarifies further and all that. That's how this subject is. I mean, these few verses should tell you, Bhrigu was not some ordinary student, Sara pad pudake, he still don't have experience, and that how the teacher is approaching. So it's tips for us actually. That's all. And that whole Virochan and Indra ka story is the same way. If you come to wrong conclusion, then that's a problem. So, any comment, question? I think that after hearing all this, everybody has become quiet and contemplative.
I could join the class after a long time, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Great, Kamlaji. It's very nice to hear that from you. I hope you. I know you are involved with so many things, but if you come, that'll be great. Yeah, and Geeta is here today too.
Yes, I've also joined after such a long time,
Yeah,
and
so-
I really enjoyed the class.
So
Thank you
welcome
much.
back after a long time, and
It awakened me to contemplate more.
yeah. So I think that's what the whole thing is, and it just encourages us to be on the right path. At least that's what we learned. That's what it is.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. So we will. So next week it was a mandir thing, but then Kanti Bhai told me that there is Mahashivratri on that day, so they have a program whole day in the mandir. So we'll just continue with our Zoom only next week. So with that, I'll close the class. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Okay, see you everybody then on Zoom next week.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. It was nice to see all the enlightened souls. Thank you.
Okay, see you next time.